Hello everyone. In this video, I will be talking about emotions hiding behind your needs. How do emotions could create the needs that we have, or the perception of needs that we think we have, to be more exact? First of all, I want you to have a little idea of how the soul structure works. I have explained this in my book, The Power of Elevation of Consciousness, Soul Restructuring. There I explain the different layers of the soul and how they work. But just for you to have an idea, our body, our physical body, is in the center, and then we have a sort of layers, like if we were an onion and our physical body is in the center or core of that onion, and then we have layers and layers and layers and layers. We could really have infinite layers of the soul that connect us all the way to source. But in reality, the ones that we interact with the most in this level are the first 5 that I mentioned in the book, but they are sort of like a shield that come before we can perceive anything. So our spirit will be in the center of all of that core. So let's say we have the spirit, then we have the physical body and all the layers of the soul, and then we expand. Right? So before the spirit could perceive anything, it has to go through all those layers of the soul, and then also through all the neurotransmitters and cells and things that are in the body that also work as receptors and transmitters of information. So imagine that if you're in the center, the spirit, it has to really go through all this in order to see something. And that's why it's so important that we are clear and very clean in our soul and our body, so we can really be clear channels. If our body is contaminated with all kinds of things that produce brain impulses, or we eat foods that activate our brain impulses like sugar, coffee, alcohol, meat, then it's like, the spirit is going to try to observe something, and it's just going to see cells going nuts here and there, and neurotransmitters sending information that you didn't ask for, and things just going a little crazy there. So the spirit is not going to be able to see through that. It's too much information, too much action. It may get some of the message, but it will be like, something came. It's not like, you can receive a real message. And that is if the message went through the layers of the soul that are first. So emotions are the first thing that interferes there, because they are like the most external layer, and emotions can really define how we're going to perceive things from there on. And the way that we accumulate these emotions can define what our needs will be. If we have emotions that cause us certain trauma, for example, then we start accumulating imbalances in our physical body. Let's say you have an emotion that your parents didn't, let's say that your parents were not there all the time, and you recorded this negative memory of being alone or not being taken care of, and then you have a need of someone needs to take care of me. So you have created this kind of emotional trauma, and it goes back to your physical body in the form of an imbalance. Now, and also in the layers of the soul, there's going to be an imbalance in the element of water, because that's how emotional imbalances are recorded. They usually are imbalances in the element of water, that is the most abundant element in our physical body. So this is going to determine how much or how little of the water element you have, and it's going to make you go find things that fulfill that imbalance in the element of water. So you're going to be attracting people that fulfill that need of yours of perceiving the world in that way of, I no one is taking care of me. So you perhaps are going to attract a relationship or even a job or something that will make you experience that again. And it's not that you're going to find a way to heal that, or you're going to find who takes care of you. That will never happen because you are attracting that imbalance in the opposite way. So you're attracting someone that matches that perception, so you can experience that again and again and again. So unfortunately, whatever needs that we have are the opposite. We're attracting the opposite thing. So if you think that you have a need for attention, then you're going to attract people who won't give you any attention. And also, even if the person is giving you attention because you have that imbalance there, your perception will be as if you don't get any attention, because it's all about perception. So unless you heal that imbalance in emotional trauma and release it, you will never feel that you have received the attention that you need, because that's always going to be your filter, your way of seeing things. It will go through there, and it doesn't matter what the other person does, it doesn't matter who is the other person, because everyone will be seen through the same filter of you don't give me enough attention. So our emotional imbalances are going to determine our needs. If we get rid of the emotional trauma and emotional imbalances, or any emotions that could be recorded in the emotional body, our needs will start changing. They will start lowering their impact, and also they will mutate. Now our needs are not anymore about ourselves and just us. Our needs will be more of a different kind. It won't be more a need, but it will be like a motivation. You know, there's like a little metamorphosis there. There is a change. So needs are only there if you create the need, if you create them, and you can only create needs from emotional trauma. So you need to find ways to release your emotional trauma, release the elements of the soul that create that filter that make you feel that need, because that need doesn't really exist. It's only a perception because of your emotional trauma that you went through. And if you went through several emotional traumas, then you start creating a filter that is even more hybrid. Like, you don't really know where it comes from, if it was because your parents did it, or maybe something happened at school, or maybe something at work, or the three of them together. So it could be that too, and you need to make sure that you can just get rid of all of them, because you can't know when one or the other is going to affect. So you need to find ways to heal the emotional trauma. So very good. I hope that this gave you a little bit of an idea of what really happens in the background, in the soul layers, and how we can identify our needs and link them to a previous emotion or recorded emotion that is causing that need. So you can make a little list and see what are your main needs. Like, you need somebody to give you attention, you need somebody to rescue you, you need somebody to do things for you, you need love, you need a soulmate. What is behind that need? What emotion is linked to that? And if you can remember when you created it, I mean, it will be better, but if you can't, at least be aware of what emotion you're managing that is causing that. Very good. I hope that this helped you in any ways, and you can watch more videos like this at healersofthelight.com/videos. Thank you.